Every gardener eventually reaches that moment when the mulch you spread months ago has gone flat, pale and tired. It's still covering the soil, but it isn't doing much else. There's no magic happening underneath. The biology has slowed down, the mulch is decomposing at a crawl, and your soil isn't improving the way it should. Yet smart gardeners know a simple trick that transforms old mulch into living, nutrient-rich compost, fast. All it takes is one powerful liquid, a homemade compost activator created through natural fermentation. This compost-activating liquid is the closest thing you'll ever find to flipping a biological switch in your soil. Pour it over mulch, and dormant microorganisms wake up. Dry chunks of wood chips begin breaking down. Fungal networks spark to life. Earthworms rise to the surface. Within hours, the mulch layer becomes warm, moist, and biologically active again. By morning, your soil ecosystem is fully awake and working. It's not magic, it's fermentation. The principle behind this method is simple. Mulch breaks down slowly because it's mostly carbon. Microbes love carbon, but they need a companion source of nitrogen, minerals, and simple sugars to activate. When these ingredients are missing, decomposition stalls. A natural ferment solves this instantly by delivering an enormous population of active microorganisms, along with the food sources they need to multiply rapidly. The result is a microbial explosion directly under your mulch, which turns that dead surface layer into the beginnings of rich compost. To make this soil-reviving liquid, you only need 3 primary ingredients: a green plant source for nitrogen and enzymes, a carbohydrate source to fuel fermentation, and water. Many gardeners traditionally use comfrey, nettle, or grass clippings as their nitrogen base, but any fresh green plant material works. The green component carries natural plant hormones, trace minerals, and the raw proteins microbes thrive on. If you're using grass, choose clippings that haven't gone to seed or been sprayed. Fresh green material always performs best. The carbohydrate fuel can be as simple as molasses, brown sugar, or even ripe fruit scraps. Microbes feed aggressively on these sugars during fermentation, multiplying into the trillions in just a few days. This is the engine behind the entire process. Without sugars, the microbes stay sluggish. With sugars, they explode into activity and generate the living liquid your mulch needs. To prepare the activator, fill a bucket 1/3 full with your chopped green plant material. Add enough water to bring it close to the top, leaving a few inches of space for bubbling. Stir in 2 tablespoons of molasses per gallon of water in the bucket. This ratio is ideal for fermentation without creating excess alcohol or souring. If you want to strengthen the formula even further, add a handful of finished compost, leaf mold, or healthy forest soil. Cover the bucket loosely, not airtight, because fermentation produces gases. A cloth or mesh screen tied over the top works perfectly. During the first 48 hours, the mixture will warm and begin to smell slightly sweet, grassy, or yeasty. That's exactly what you want. Stir it once a day to keep oxygen flowing and prevent the mix from going anaerobic. Within 3 to 5 days, you'll have a powerful, biologically active liquid that's ready to use. Now comes the part growers love most: applying it to mulch. Timing matters. For the fastest transformation, apply the activator in the late afternoon or early evening when microbial activity naturally increases and UV light is lower. Pour it slowly over your mulch so it penetrates down through the layers. If your mulch is very dry, moisten it lightly with plain water first. Hydrated mulch absorbs the activator more effectively and gives microbes a gentle landing zone. What happens next is, well, rather remarkable. The microbes begin digesting the wood fibers, leaf fragments, and stems in the mulch. This releases heat, a sure sign of active decomposition. Within a few hours, the texture of the mulch changes subtly. It softens, it darkens, and it even begins to smell like fresh forest soil instead of dry wood. If you dig your fingers beneath the surface the next day, You'll often find signs of life you didn't expect: fine fungal threads, tiny worms, and crumbly material just beginning to form. Repeat applications really do amplify the effect. 2 doses, spaced about a week apart, often convert the top inch of mulch into rich, partially composted material that mixes effortlessly into garden beds. For soil that's been compacted or depleted, this can honestly be transformative. The mulch becomes a feeder layer rather than just a static covering. Your soil regains porosity, moisture retention increases, and the whole biological system becomes, self-supporting. This method works especially well for beds that haven't been tilled and for gardeners practicing low disturbance or no-till techniques. Instead of breaking soil open, you're inviting life to rise from below and infiltrate from above. Roots respond immediately. Plants fed by microbially active mulch show richer color, thicker stems, and improved drought tolerance. Tomatoes, squash, peppers, and leafy greens all benefit noticeably from this approach. One of the biggest advantages of using fermented compost activator is, frankly, cost. You can brew gallons of it for almost nothing using grass clippings, weeds, or kitchen scraps. Compare that to buying commercial compost accelerators and the value becomes, obvious. More importantly, the homemade version is alive, something you'll never get from a bottle on a shop shelf. Ultimately, this technique is about working with natural processes instead of trying to force them. Mulch wants to become compost, microbes want to feed, soil wants to live. All you're really doing is giving that system the spark it needs to wake up fast. If this guide inspired you to try the method and you want more soil building techniques that actually work, make sure to subscribe and share this episode with fellow gardeners. Your soil will come alive and your harvest will show it.